I want to say at the very on-site, hello, my friends. It's good to see you. Second of all, I want to say, TikTok, this is not a political video. Nothing in my videos are political. You tagged my video yesterday as a political video. It had no politicians. It had nothing about the federal government. It had nothing about the state government. Courts are open public. Litigation is open. So that's what I'm talking about, being essayed by a therapist. No point in reference to that, whether using AI or a human being, is political. So please do not flag these videos. Now, let me get straight to it. So this past weekend, I received a letter from the COA of Tennessee. And when I did that, when I got the letter, it said your case has been mandated, meaning that they ended it in that jurisdiction of that court. So they forwarded me back to the trial court here in Davidson County. And with that, in the Fifth Circuit, see, that's not political. In the Fifth Circuit, the case was now being moved for discretionary costs, that means money, sanctions, that's money, and then taxes for the litigation in the appeals court. I was like, wow, that is extremely fast. So on Tuesday, yesterday, I got it all really fast. So 23rd, I got the letter. So I had to say, okay, what to do in this process. There's nothing like prayer, calming down, thinking it through. Two different courts. So what did I do? I sat down and I said, what is their plans of strategy? What are they doing? Why are they moving so fast? Now, mind you, in the appeals court, that I had three motions, one for substitution, one for sanctions against the counsel for not telling us that their client was dead. Third of all, was a rehearing because the judgment came against me was before I appealed, while I was in the appellate process, but we hadn't gotten to final judgment. So therefore, you had to substitute. So and the question is, well, did he have an estate when he passed? The answer is yes. His wife is the executor, Mrs. Islam. So that's not political. That's just a name. He's represented by Wendy Longmire, Haley Gillum, and Will Caldwell. I kind of got them out of order, but from Ortel and Kelly. That's not political. That's just open public. So they represent him. So with that being said, so what I did was, once it's got mandated back to this court, I felt in my spirit they're moving very fast. I looked at the pleadings of the counsel. Her pleadings are very thin. She normally is not a thin writer. It's normally pretty thick. I was like, okay. So what I did was, in rebuttal, when they sent me at 8:25 in the morning all these notifications of what they were going to do since it was mandated, I filed a motion to stay. I filed that in the trial court. The trial court, that means that in the trial court, that if the judge rules that he will have to stop all proceedings until all the proceedings are completed in the COA Appeals Court of Tennessee. So that's what I did. I filed a motion in that court for a rehearing, a remand back to this court. And remand, recall, means that, hey, court, you did not address my concerns of motions that I filed. You sent me straight down to this trial court and you didn't look at my motions. Why did you not look at the motions? Because you had all right. Why did you make a judgment when I've informed you by Rule 25.01, TRCP, and I'm giving the initials, TRCP 25.01, that says you have to take note that if a person dies during the process, all things stop. Stop. That's a summarization of that. That's my analogy of that, analysis. So of that. So with that being said, they received it, and I'm pretty sure yesterday that when I filed, they were not prepared for me to file two motions. Again, I'm pro se, but I got a great lawyer from heaven that speaks. I'm going against giants, but David killed Goliath. And I stand on victory. I believe that the court will hold the stay. The judge is fair. But if they don't, everything is still all right regardless. But the fact of it is that we will still be in an appeals process because the appellate court was supposed to stop. You cannot rule on dead people. This state was already established. Now, this is one of the main questions I want to leave with you all today and thoughts. Why did the opposing counsel never inform the COA of Tennessee of the death of her client, of their client? They never did. Not one time. I did. That's a very valuable question in the fight, in the arguments, because they have done everything to put me out. Now, I want to let you know about having friends and colleagues. I'm going to paraphrase something, and here it is. There's a deputy clerk. His name is Jim Heavener at the COA of Appeals here in Tennessee, and attorney Wendy Longmire. When I felt she did not comply with the rules and regulations when we filed the motions, not the two I just filed, but the three earlier motions, substitution. From substitution, then we had to go to sanctions and then to rehearing. She stated in her writings, in her motions, a response to me. She said, I spoke to, Mr. Heavener called me, not I spoke with, Mr. Heavener called me and told me to add case law unpublished back into my pleadings. I said, excuse me. The deputy clerk, you put it in your writing that the deputy clerk called and told you? He's never called me and told me to add case law to allow me to prevail. So I sent him an email, and I called him. In his email, he paraphrased, he says, and I'm going to put the emails up next after this. In the emails, he says, I was just giving advice to her to file the case law in her motion response. Do you know how important that is, that when you got a deputy clerk calling you personally and telling you to add case law, do you know you win your cases on rules and statutes and regulations of case law? Rules, statutes, case law. He's advising her, and she did it. The court never addressed that it is against the rules. In my emails, and you will see in the next post, he's never addressed me, nor has he given me the rules and regulations. He's acting like, oh, it's an honorable mention. Oh, but it's not. You cannot advise anyone. He is a neutral party. Neutral. But you will see he is not neutral. And the thing that is most important is he can't even change the language, because Mrs. Longmire in her draft said Mr. Heavener called me and informed me to put the unpublished law into her pleadings. I ask you, what are your thoughts? Please like, share, and repost, because this story has to be told. We're all in litigations, and if we're not, people have been in litigations, but no one is talking about it. No one is helping them. No one is holding the lawyers accountable, or the judges, or the judicial system. That's not political. That's just something that we do because they're hired by us, voted on, and then if you're in the federal, you're appointed. But still, either way, they work for the people. That's not a political commentary, that's just a fact. So I ask again, do you find it strange or that the deputy clerk, Jim Heavener, sent Attorney Longmire or called her and let her know to put in some case law? Oh, unpublished. Or either way, you left it out of your last brief, so go ahead and put it in this one. How's he reading all those briefs, and why her brief? Thank you for listening.